What's up, party people? It's Dan, your basement guitar superstar. It's been a long time. I've missed you guys. But tonight I'm going to give you a little bit of a channel update. And then on the bench here, I have Sephiroth, who you guys are familiar with if you follow me on Instagram. That is my, let me check to make sure that you can see him in the camera view. That is my Chapman Guitars ML3 Modern Abyss. But before we do that, let's chat for a little bit. So here's what I've been up to. I hope that glare isn't too bad. I'm going to switch this way so you can't see the light in the background. We'll do a little bit of that there. So yeah, let's talk about what's going on. I've been on hiatus from the channel for quite some time now. I think my last video I posted mid-December time frame. I have not filmed anything since then, but I also have not acquired any new gear since then. Now, I do have a backlog of stuff. I have let my vendors that have sent me stuff that I haven't gotten to yet know that it is coming. They've been very patient and kind with me during this whole journey. So here's what I'm doing. Currently, I'm an insurance agent with a major company, and I am very unhappy doing that. It's come to a point where I don't enjoy getting up for work anymore. I feel like I want to drink heavily when I wake up. And so I've decided to pursue my passion, which is actually teaching, specifically English. So I'm going back to school to try and get in a program with the state I live in that will allow me to teach using my bachelor's degree and some other college credits I've taken without having to go back to school 4 years and get an education degree, which I'm very excited about. Currently, I'm carrying a 4.0 between the two schools I'm taking classes at, so we'll see how that goes. I found out in May if I get in or not, but I have somebody buying my book of business from me, which is nice because we'll be mostly out of debt when that happens. But anyway, that's what's going on with me. The channel will be back in full bore probably mid-May, mid to late May, early June, depending on a couple different things. Got some new exciting stuff. I have the fart pedal, which I'm very excited to bring you. I filmed the unboxing for it already and tried to film a video with it, but was laughing my ass off the whole time because it's hilarious. And so I need to refilm that because it didn't go very well. But anyway, let's get to it here. We have Sephiroth on the table, which is my Chapman Guitars ML3 Modern Abyss. I just love that finish name. And check to make sure that Mr. Camera is still on here. He is indeed. Okay, so let's get to restringing this thing. I've already loosened this up a bit. Let's do some finagling with the camera here too. Sorry for the weird angles. Let's do this instead. I think that's going to work out better. That way you guys can kind of see a little bit of an angle. Hopefully that's better for you. You can see the headstock there. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to talk and do this. Here's the strings I'm using today. They are Black Diamond strings. VT series, virtual tone. They are corrosion resistant. And the lovely and talented Matt Smith sent these to me. If you guys have not befriended Matt Smith or talked to him, he's in the band Fast Susie. I met him actually through the Vintage Guitar Players page. I interviewed him on my channel a while ago. Maybe I'll post a link in the comments to where you can watch that interview. Matt and I hit it off instantly. He's a very good dude who I very much enjoy talking to and hearing him play music. He's a hell of a guitarist and just a great guy all around. So check him out if you get a chance. Yeah. And he sent me these and I want to try them out. I'm excited to try them out. Normally I use DR type fits, so I'm not saying screw it to DR totally, right? I just want some other alternatives. Chapman's come with Ernie ball strings, and I've always thought Ernie balls were garbage. But by some literal act of God or whoever you worship that you want to give homage to, by some literal act of the divine. These Ernie ball strings, these ones on here right now, are the ones that came on this guitar when I got it last summer. By some literal act of the divine, they have lasted until now. See, usually Ernie ball strings for me, I put on a pair on a guitar, and they, without fail, they turn to shit within about 4 to 5 weeks of heavy playing on said guitar. So these lasted quite a bit longer than that, and I was quite surprised. But they're starting to turn to shit on me now. What I mean by that is I can feel, especially on the highest 3 strings there, they start getting all rusty and weird, and they're unplayable, and it's irritating because I could put a set of DRs on a guitar and they'll last me forever. Like, I've had my Telecaster I have that you guys have seen, the natural finish one, Jed. You guys know him as, he's been in a couple videos. I've had the same set of DR strings on him for a couple years. Now, granted, I don't play that guitar a whole hell of a lot, but let me give you a better example. The black Squier Tornado I have, that I play frequently, I've had the same set of DR tight fits on that guitar for about 1.5 years now. And I play it very consistently. I have 3 Tornadoes. The Sheriff is dethroning Stella. The black one is my favorite. The Sheriff is the Tobacco Sunburst, who I've done an unboxing of. I think you've seen him once or twice on the channel, but I played Stella more than I play the Sheriff, and eventually the Sheriff will be on the channel more. But anyway, this Chapman guitar, I absolutely love these. I love Telecaster style guitars. I should own more of them, but I don't. I just haven't found ones that work for me until now. And these ML3s work for me. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Chapman lineup here, but they look pretty sweet. If you have not seen those, hopefully Rob is okay with this, but if he's not, I'm sure he'll reach out to me, but I'm gonna post a link to him and Lee Anderton's announcement of the new 2022 Chapman lineup, or at least the first portion of it anyway. I'm sure they have more coming because they haven't talked about their Ghost Frets yet, and I know there was a big contest to vote on colors for those, so I'm sure they have other guitars coming out besides that. Give me a second here. I'm going to disconnect from the mic and do something else quick. So anyway, Chapman's new lineup looks very, very awesome. The only thing that, for me, that is... I apologize for bumping the camera there. I got to make sure it's still... I apologize for bumping the camera. Anyway, the only thing about the new Chapmans coming out that I don't like is I wish there was more variety, more color schemes at the more affordable end. So like this end, I think I paid like $550 for this one at Anderton's. And the weird thing, like I like to support American dealers as much as I can, but when I could buy this guitar from Anderton's and pay less with shipping after they take VAT out of the equation, because they take off X amount for VAT. So if you go on Anderton's website, the price in pounds you see on there, even if you convert it, you're still going to pay less. I apologize for that. So the guitars I bought there, I've paid, I think this one was $120 less with shipping than I would have paid had I bought it from a US vendor, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you know, it supports Andertons, and the captain seems like a really good dude. But, you know, it's unfortunate that we can't figure our shit out to make products here actually affordable for consumers here. It just seems like there's a lot of greed and not very many people doing anything about it. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. You know, everybody's got to have their fair share. I get it. And I'll get off my soapbox talking about greed. Anyway, I like to put some of this GHS fast fret on here. I've had people tell me not to coat the fretboard with it before. I don't think it hurts it. I like using it on here. To me, it feels like it makes stuff play better. I'll tell you what though, this Macassar Ebony, the finger schmutz shows up a lot heavier than it would on like a maple or even a rosewood fretboard. Yeah, it shows up very, very heavy on this ebony here. But that's okay, you know. Yeah, and I own 3 Chapmans. I own a ML2J that actually used to be Rob's guitar that he used on his channel. I did a preview of it. And then he sold that to Charlie Busatile, my buddy who owns Band-Aid Music on the island of Malta. Then I bought it from Charlie. It's a cool opportunity to own, you know, a piece of music gear that's been owned by one of my idols when it comes to social media and guitar playing and stuff. You know, say what you want about Rob, but every interaction I've had with him, he's been extremely gracious and supportive of what I'm doing. I've talked to him briefly a little bit on social media before, and you know, he's aware that I'm not a very good guitar player and that I have some haters because of it, and he's basically come out and said, screw the haters, man. Like, you do what you do. You know, we appreciate that you enjoy our guitars, and there's definitely a market for it, definitely a niche for guys like you that just kind of tool around in their basement a little bit, and you know, we're going to support what you do. And so, yeah, he's been awesome to deal with. Hopefully I get to meet him in real life someday. It might be a little bit tough given that he's in Malta. Maybe if I go to NAMM. I'm going to try and go to NAMM here next year, or one of these years when they have it in Nashville again. If people start taking the Nashville show seriously. I just can't afford Anaheim, and I think you're going to see some of the smaller vendors go away because the Nashville show really is about the smaller guys. Really about, you know, I felt like when I was there, vendors actually paid attention to me even though I'm a smaller channel, because I wasn't being drowned out by, you know, the Marty Schwartzes and the, you know, the Ague Fishes and the guys. All those guys are great dudes, by the way. I'm not harping on them. I'm just, like, you go to a huge show like NAMM in Anaheim and you have all these giant channels there, and nobody really pays attention to you unless you have more than, you know, 5,000 subs or so, and it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. All the vendors I work with have been great. Absolutely love every one of them. And, yeah, it's been good so far. I'm up to almost 300 subs, which I'm kind of surprised. I haven't posted a video in 5 or 6 months, and I've gained 30 subs since then. So it's kind of cool. Need to apologize to Dingo Dog Records. I have not had a chance to send out that Calavera. I promise I will send it out to you either before I publish this video or shortly after. Now that I actually have money, that my residual commissions aren't garbage anymore like they have been for the last 5 months. But anyway, yeah, I got some cool stuff coming up. I have an array of effects pedals that I have not gotten to yet that I'm excited about. We're going to do a series with the fart pedal where we pair it up with different other pedals to show you guys kind of. So we're going to do like phaser farts, flanger farts, tremolo farts, like distortion farting. It's going to be rad. And you guys are going to love it and laugh hysterically like immature 12-year-olds. And as will I. Because I'm a grown-ass man and I still think butt poop and fart jokes are absolutely hilarious. So, yeah. Wow, this fingerboard was dirtier than shit. Look at that. Good God. Need to start washing my damn hands before I play, I guess. No, I always do, actually. That's a weird thing about it. I'd usually put a couple coats on there. Try and get the schmutz off. Finger schmutz. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. So anyway, we put that son of a basket maker back in the canister here. And we need to wash this guy. I don't know if you can, but I'm going to try. Let's break out the strings. So I will bring you guys back once I have the strings put on there. Actually, I fibbed. I'm going to bring you back now. So these are those black diamond strings I was telling you about. The lovely and talented Matt Smith from Fast Susie sent these to me. So Matt, thank you so much. He sent me those and these guys here too. The acoustic guitar strings, the bright bronze. I'm excited to try those on Merle, my Teton acoustic. There. Next time it needs a restring, I'm going to put those on there. Let me know in the comments what strings you guys use. I'm interested in hearing about that. I know I did a video about how Ernie balls are trash, and until Ernie Ball proves me wrong, like, sends me a bunch of shit proving that they're not a garbage guitar string, I'm always going to think that they're garbage guitar strings, because they have been, for me, traditionally. Right, pretty plain packaging here. These are actually made in the USA, so that's awesome. Not that the other ones aren't. I think DRs are too, I'm pretty sure anyway. Most strings are. Also, let me know in the comments what you guys think of the whole tube situation. Because I love tube amps. I think they sound more pure. I don't dislike solid state, though. I'm not one of those guys like that's going to poo-poo solid state amps. The only amps I don't like are the modeling amps. I guess I just don't get it. You know, it just seems kind of dumb to have an amp that has a bunch of built-in effects. And I've played one, and honestly, I thought they were kind of overrated. But each to his own. If you like those, more power to you. You know, who am I to judge, right? Let ye without sin cast the first stone, right? Also, I've been working pretty extensively. I have not been filming a lot, guys, but I've been working on my playing quite a bit. So you should see at least a little bit of an improvement in my playing. I've kind of realized some of my limitations, that I'm probably not going to be a shredder like Mr. Rob Chapman himself, the man, the myth, the legend, because I did not start playing guitar when I was in diapers like he probably did. So I know my limitations and have been focusing solely on just becoming a better guitar player overall, learning rhythm and chords and different I mean, I'm still working on scales, still working on a little bit of lead stuff, but I think it's going to sound more polished next time you guys see an actual video of me playing or demoing a pedal, hopefully. Anyway, it sounds more polished. I'd like to think it's going to. That it should contribute to better sound quality overall for me. So let's get this going. I don't know, I'm kind of weird, like how I do strings here. I don't like to leave a ton of slack, right? So usually cut about right there. Anyway, I'm going to bring you guys back after I got this thing strung up.